Sweet. Alrighty. Great to see everybody. My name is Ty Wynn. I am the labor organizer for MNA. I'm working on this SWAT team this year and be kind of organizing that in some capacity. A lot of the communication, we'll talk about how that communication is going to happen next. I'll share this agenda right now with everybody so we can just go over. We're going to do some quick introductions here, talk about communication, talk about the website banner, we'll talk about the legislative reception on the 9th. We'll look at our cheat sheets that we have, and we will do some legislative review, just do some overview and look at the bills that we're looking at this year and have some time for questions at the end. So it's a pretty small group. Why don't we just go around and do some introductions? So maybe we'll start.
I'm Gwen Palchuk, and I live up here in Kalispell. I'm the president for District 7. I'm on the Council for Professional Development, and I have retired from the hospital. So what I do now is I have a small consulting business for continuing education and nursing case management.
Sweet.
Hopefully you can hear me. I'm in a coffee shop. I had to escape my office. I'm Rachel Hewlett-Bear. I live in Billings. I teach for MSU and also work at the Billings Clinic here. And I'm on a couple different councils, and that's about it. I have to take this phone call because my electrician is calling. Sorry.
It's okay. Lori, do you want to go next?
Oh, sure. I'm Lori McKinney. I live in Bozeman. I'm a nurse in the ER there. And see, I went to MNA conference for the first time this year and just decided that maybe I ought to start stepping up. So
Sweet. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm starting to get more involved. Yeah.
Congratulations on getting more involved.
Thank you.
Of course. And we'll do Eric and then Robin.
Okay. Eric Anderson. I work as a contract lobbyist for Montana Nurses Association, and we're looking forward to building on our efforts over the past sessions, particularly session 19 and the difficult session when we had a split session. We had people in the building and people checking in from their homes virtually. So glad to be here and looking forward to productivity.
Same here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robin Houck, and I'm the labor program director for MNA. I'm excited our SWAT team is up and running again. It's going to be a challenging session, and I'm so happy to see that it's growing this year and getting new nurses to participate in this process is so important. I can't stress it enough. Vicki needs your help, Ty and I need your help, and Eric needs your help, because at the most important thing is we need nurses speaking to nursing issues, and that's who you all are. So thank you for being here today.
Yeah, I think this year is looking great. We have about 30 plus people on our SWAT team list right now. I know it probably doesn't look impressive with the amount of people who showed up, but that is 30 commitments to take some sort of action or at least pay attention to the legislature, which is huge, because we need, more than we who here on the call, but nurses across the state need us to, focus on the legislature and pass some legislation and that will help nurses and defeat legislation that will hurt nurses, right? So, so the first kind of point is basically housekeeping and how we're planning on communicating with you as SWAT team members. It's going to be email. We're going to be emailing y'all talking points when important hearing dates are, who we need to be reaching out to. So, be paying attention to your email for the next legislature's 90 days starting January 2nd, but we'll start kind of communicating with you now. So it's about 110 days, 120 days. The next 120 days we'll be talking with y'all quite a bit. And the legislature might go on longer than 90 days if they choose to. And hopefully, at the very least, this is going to be a great way. Being on the SWAT team will be a great way for y'all to get some experience with the legislature and have some understanding how the Montana legislature works. We'll expect y'all to respond to the emails, if you need help getting on testimony, you can always reach out to me or Robin. We'll have a text thread. We'll create a text thread here soon to talk about, to deal with any sort of immediate things or immediate questions as well. However, that's not going to be our primary source of communication. You may receive text messages about SWAT because we are messaging the entire MNA membership about important issues we need their support on. More than just, committing to the, being informed and taking action at the legislature. It's going to be a huge help if y'all talk to your coworkers and friends about nursing issues, getting them educated about what, matters to you, and how they can get involved. The SWAT team is not limited to MNA nurses, right? This is our team of people who are fighting for nursing issues in Montana. So I'm more than happy to open this up to community members, non-association nurses, APRNs, CNAs, healthcare workers, because really, our bills that we're bringing forward and the actions that and the bills that we're going to be hoping to defeat are going to impact all healthcare workers in the state of Montana this year. So I'm going to stop sharing this and we'll get into the website, the MNA website, which is going to be a great way to get information. Association. All right, I'll share this screen. So this is our website. Hopefully you're familiar with it. We have these little banners that scroll across. And they all have different information. You can click on these little buttons on the side of the screen to get to where you want to go. And we're looking for a banner for important legislative informations and updates. And then we also have a SWAT team banner as well. This would be a great place to direct your friends. The URL is mtnurses.org/SWAT-team. But a lot of the information, if you missed an email or you just want to look at the information, we will have all of it under this Legislative Updates 2023 banner. What we will have here are any additional talking points we have. Oh yes, Robin.
So typically what we put on the website, it won't be specific talking points about specific bills. We will email those to you directly. So when we craft talking points, if you're going to testify, we will get you those. Additionally, we will get you those as soon as possible so that if you have questions, whatever the timing may be, because things move really fast, to allow you to make that your own, but include, the talking points we're trying to use for the messaging for all of our testimony. Every press release will be on this site, on this page. Let's see what else, all the bill information, all the copies of our testimony. Every last session, Vicki provided copies of all of her testimony for every bill she spoke to. And then additionally, she does a legislative update every week. She will start recording those, I believe, next week or 2 weeks from now. Yep, and we will post those recordings here. But as it moves so fast, for you guys to get your information, it will come most of the time directly from either Ty or Vicky or myself. That's going to be directly emailed to you, just so you know.
Thank you for that. Yeah, this is where to go. It's not a lot to look at right now because the legislature hasn't started. But I want to show you that resource. What are we talking about next? So our legislative reception is on January 9th. So what that reception is we've reserved space on the legislative calendar, which anybody can do. And we've done that on behalf of MNA to host legislators to come. And we are very grateful for the Sergeant at Arms because she helped us schedule that in. And we got a pretty good date on January 9th. It's pretty early. We're really grateful for that time. We're going to invite as many legislators as possible. We'll have meals for 75 people. If you are able to make it to Helena on January 9th, it would be great to see you. If you travel to Helena, we will have hotels for you, but we'll need to know by December 20th if you'll be able to make it to Helena, if you'll have the time off to be there. If you do come to Helena, it would stay overnight. Thanks, Rachel. That'd be great to know. That's like we have 3 people tentatively signed up, 3 nurses signed up tentatively to be there right now. One of the things that we're asking as a Montana Nurses Association nurse, if you can show up a little bit before the reception to meet with Eric beforehand to get a little bit of an update or a little bit of training on how to talk to legislatures at the Capitol, with the hopes that you'll stay, and then on Monday or on that Tuesday morning, the 10th, we'll go to the legislature together and just be there, be present. If we were able to meet some of the legislators that day and talk to them, that'd be great. If there's some committee hearing that's talking about nurses that day, maybe going there and being in person to testify. But that's all conjecture and hypothesis. I'm really grateful that Eric's on right now with us. Maybe if you could talk briefly about what they can expect if they come up and meet with you.
Thanks, Ty. It's really a good tradition now that Montana Nurses Association has with being in the Capitol, in the Rotunda. We've had student nurses, we've had opportunities over the past sessions to really advocate for our profession. And but everything gets to be just one-on-one. So if we, for example, if we had an opportunity for even just a few nurses to spend some time, we could use them to engage with some of the elected officials. Every opportunity resonates because we're going to have to ask for their votes. So if the nurses have even just an hour and a half, we can get you into the building, get you familiarized with all the good spots to get a cup of coffee might be, and where we're going to find some friendly faces and those that need to hear our messaging. So you gotta remember, you're welcome. It's your house. You belong there, and we'll try and make everybody feel really, really comfortable.
That's awesome. Hey, your taxpayer money pay for this, so you're allowed to be there, right? So that's what I say anyway. But I'm really grateful Eric has agreed to give a little bit of training. He's great at this lobbying thing. So that's something to look forward to. That's an opportunity that we have created. So now we're going to go into our little cheat sheet. So in that initial email we sent out, we included these little cheat sheets. Maybe we'll go about this in a certain order. Let's see what that order will be. So first I'll show you the invitation to the SWAT team. You're already on the SWAT team. However, we're providing this to you as something you can print out and share with your coworkers, or if you have that sort of platform, email to your members if you're the president or something. But this can be shared with MNA members, your friends, other healthcare workers, anybody who's interested in being a part of our SWAT team. The next piece, this is kind of the overview cheat sheet for the legislative session. So this is our communications cheat sheet. This kind of goes over all of the items you need to know for this upcoming session. This first talking point, or this first point, is where you can find all the information for the Montana Legislature 2023. This is the landing page. If you go to leg.mt.gov/session, or just click this link, you'll have a couple tabs to look at and click on, so you can look at all the possible bills that have been proposed. If you go look at all the bills right now, most of them are in draft form and are waiting to be assigned a bill number. If you don't know who your legislator is, this is a great place to look at who represents you. It also will list their contact information, and we're going to be asking you to give your legislator a call to introduce yourself, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. And if you need any help or want to do some rehearsals or something, you can feel free to reach out to me. We can always watch and listen legislative hearings, and then if you're interested to know what sort of committee what the committees are doing, or what committees exist even, there's a button for that. The Montana Legislature has a way that we can send messages, text, web messages, not text messages, but we can go to leg.mt.gov/web messaging. This is not up for the 2023 session quite yet, or it might be. I'll have to double check that for you here. I was just looking at it. Maybe I have it pulled up. Yeah, okay. This is where you can type a message out on a web form, and then it gets sent to the Legislative Services, and Legislative Services prints that out and sets it on the legislator's desk. Similarly, we can leave messages for them through Legislative Services. We can call this number, 406-444-480-44, too many fours, 444-4800. All right. And similarly, these messages are then typed up and then handed to legislators, so left on legislators' desks. And this is kind of a an overview. You can leave up to 5 messages for individual legislators. And or you can send a text to your legislator. Yes, Robin.
I just wanted to point out that there are samples within this document about how to start your messages in the appropriate fashion you want to send those. So make sure you look at that if you are sending one, through phone, et cetera, or by text. Just wanted to point that out.
I think this is a good place to talk about it too. While our representatives and senators are people elected, by us, they are elected by a group of people together, and they were elected by a majority vote. And so they hold some sort of, some sort of respect for that. I think, whether or not like we personally feel that way when we are talking to representatives, a little bit of courtesy goes a long way. As it is written out in this bill, we always, if they are a member of the House of Representatives, we'll address them as a representative, say Representative Smith, or if they are in the Senate, we'll call them by their name, Senator Small, and their last name. And that's, that's the appropriate way to address the senator when talking to members of the Judiciary Committee. And then when we get into testimony, which we'll get into shortly, this next one is there is an appropriate way to address the chair of the committee as well. But this is the overview kind of document. If you're kind of looking at how you want to go about talking to legislators, which you're most comfortable with, and what all the opportunities are. This document, the 2023 Leg Cheat Sheet Final, is what it's called, and how I sent it out. This is that document. The other thing we're asking, we'll ask of you as a member of the SWAT team is to testify on bills of importance. So we have, and we're going to talk about this next. We have the the violence against nurses bill that we're working on, and we're also working on a safe staffing standards bill. And when these get heard in committee, it's going to be vital that we get as many nurses as possible to submit written testimony and or being there in person. And this cheat sheet is talking about how to do the in-person and Zoom options of testifying, right? So hit some high points of this. We want to be brief when we're talking to, we only have a certain amount of time to talk to legislators, and that's set by the chairperson as here. So they'll set any limitations at the beginning of the committee. So we don't want to be drafting up some lengthy testimony. So we want to address the chairperson as chairperson, Madam Chair, Chairman, and then their last name. And you want to clearly identify yourself and spell out your last name and which district you live in, if you know it. And then if you're representing MNA, say that you're representing MNA or yourself, and clearly state whether or not you support in opposition or in support of the bill number. And we'll have all of that information, what the bill number is. If you don't know who your representatives are, I'll help you get that sort of information as well. Oh yes, Robin.
I just want to even stress even more, Ty and Vicki and I are all here to help you. If you can't get me, you'll get a hold of Ty. I promise you are not alone here. We will help you. We will help you with your testimony. And we'll get to the piece about when you do testify, that you need to have one written just in case if you do it virtually. But again, I just wanted to stress, we're here to help you guys with this. We just want to give you all the tools so we can get you contacting these legislators and testifying, for nurses.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to be on the debate team. I used to be the captain of the debate team in high school. So if I am more than happy to sit and listen to you guys rehearse, practice, whatever sort of talking points. I can give you tips. I say that because I'm more than happy to work on drafting language or anything like that, or listening to what you have to say and figuring out what is the appropriate way to shorten things or make things longer, or to be able to best stress the importance of an issue which matters to you. I'm happy to do that. We do want to share your relationship to the issue, give yourself some platform to stand on, and then add 1 to 3 key points. We don't, if we have lots of nurses talking about an issue, if each nurse takes up a point, 2 or 3 points, we'll cover it all. Right, is kind of the idea. So we need more nurses saying lots of different things rather than 2 nurses saying lots of things. I think that's going to make a bigger impact. Legislators like to think in terms of numbers as opposed to they like quantitative data rather than qualitative data, because it's easier for them. If they see a large line of people standing there, that's going to make a more impact than some beautiful testimony. While beautiful testimony is going to make some impact, it's going to impress upon them that there's a big need for this. And then as you end, you just want to clearly state for them that, again, I am in support of this bill, or again, I am in opposition to this bill, and then, thank the chairperson for allowing you to speak, which is, kind of tedious sometimes for some people, but we're in their space, they're holding the space open. This is a democracy, and they are representing the democratic values of Montana. They're protecting this the sacred thing of the sacred democracy, and keeping public testimony available to us as opposed to being some sort of dictator. So we want to thank them for doing that, right? And then we have we have some more tips. If they have committee, if they are allowed to ask questions. So if you're able to stay on and they want to ask you further, you can. If you don't know the answer, you can get the information and get them that. You can email them, call them, text them. We just want to be courteous. And if I'm not watching the testimony where people are testifying, Robin or our professional development, or Vicky, or Kelly will be watching, and Eric might be there as well. So you can always defer to us, and then we can just make sure that everything is followed up through too. We will talk about this in one of our other testifying remotely. If you want to testify, you need to submit testimony prior to, especially if you want to testify remotely. I think it's always a good idea to submit the written testimony and then follow up with the spoken testimony, because that's 2 instead of 1. So if we go back to that numbers game sort of thing, that's going to make an impact, even though it's the same person twice. They're just people, so they're not necessarily sifting through all of it. They're just looking at those numbers at the end of the day. But there might be some other evidence contrary to what I'm telling you either. But we also have the steps to contacting legislator or Senate committee. This is this web messaging piece. This is submitting written testimony, essentially. And we are able to contact the entire committee as well as instead of just a single legislator. So again, numbers, if you want to send a message to the entire committee and then send a message to each legislator on the committee, you can do that as well. And that's going to make a huge impact, right? So so those are all of our little cheat sheets. Those are all the things I sent to you in the email, this initial email inviting you to this meeting. And I'll stop sharing this one. I think we have another thing to talk about. We're just going to talk about, what are we doing? I just told you how to do everything that, why I think y'all signed up to be members of the SWAT team, because you care about nursing issues, whether it's preventing violence in the workplace, advocating for safe staffing issues, safe staffing standards, or beating back right to work bills as members of your nurses association. These are the things that we're going to be doing as members of the SWAT team. First and foremost, our biggest thing, and the thing we have quite a bit of traction on right now, is our nurses. Our nurses wear combat boots. So this is the resolution y'all passed at your annual convention. We are working on that with Senator Denise Heyman, who is giving us a lot of good insights. And if we can find a Republican senator to sponsor that fully, she will co-sponsor it as well. And so we really appreciate her time and with that. We are also working on drafting the most appropriate language. We have some support from the Benefits Hospital CEO, who has some ties with a Representative Ed Buttrey, who sits on the board there, who is a Republican. So some thoughts behind that. Why are we wasting our time? Why are we spending our time is a better way to look at that. Looking for a Republican senator in particular, if we're already talking to Democrats, because we want to, and the reason why is because we want to give this bill the best chance possible to succeed in the legislature. In the past, this bill has been killed in committee, and we don't want that to happen. So seeing that we have, so currently our legislature is, we have a Republican majority in both the House and the Senate, and there's our entire executive branch is also Republican led. So the thought behind finding a Republican is that speaking to your own people, if a Republican speaks to Republicans, they may be able to digest the bill language a little bit better, right? So that's where we're at. We're looking at the many of the groups who've, oh yes, Robin.
Yeah, the goal always is prior to any session, in each session, we learn more about better ways to build these relationships. With Vicki at the helm of MNA, she's worked really hard to try to create relationships with Eric's help. So we're always looking and reaching out to try to find strategize the best way to get bills through. Obviously, we've been very unsuccessful in getting the violence bill through. So I think we've even taken a better step this year is looking at different languages and looking at different approaches to the bill in the House and Senate makeup that we have now, and using those relationships to figure out the best way to get these bills into committees that we don't think they're going to maybe die right away. As Ty said, we are definitely bringing a violence bill forward. And we're also right now we have a placeholder and a sponsor for a safe staffing standards bill. So those are the two that we're going to really put our time behind and strategize behind, on top of all of the other bills that we will be testifying either in support of with your help or as in opposition of with your help, how those impact nurses across our state.
Right. As a member of the Montana Nurses Association, you belong to a larger coalition of labor members across the state. That being said, we have a voice at the AFL, the American Federation of Labor table, who provides support to our union and other unions across the state to combat, bad right to work bills, which would make it harder to unionize and operate our unions as well. So, we may receive requests from the AFL-CIO to, support or oppose certain bills, and we'll pass that along to y'all as well. However, we are the Montana Nurses Association, and our priorities are making lives easier for healthcare workers, right? So whatever makes sense there, we're gonna do, and we'll keep you guys in the loop about all that. And now this is time for questions if you have any. I'm also not opposed to giving back time in your days either.
We do have another training tonight at 6, and then I think, and Ty and I are going to schedule 2 more, but we'll make sure that this recording gets out. And I think Ty's already emailed you all those documents. Please just take a few minutes and read through those. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Ty. His contact information's on those. And just a reminder we'd love to have you on January 9th. The reception starts at 5:30. We'll find time with you to meet with Eric and then go up to the Capitol if you'd like to on the 10th. You may be talking to people, you may not. You might be following Eric around, watching him work his magic in the hallways. But getting you there, that would be great. So again, just a reminder to let us know by the 20th if you can make it.
Sweet. Yep. RSVP by the 20th. If you do RSVP, we'll keep you updated with all the times and dates and hotel reservation information and gas reimbursement maybes, but stuff like that.
Ty, I would just like to say that the presence of the professional nurse in the Capitol is a very special event. They represent an industry that's leading and continuing in education, building the community, and it's really exciting when it blends in with other workers that maybe don't have the expertise, but we share the same love of our work and how we collectively come together. And so the message is you're welcome to be seen, and it's an honor to have a nurse in the building, and there's a great heritage, and the issues that you have selected to work on is commendable. But take away is when you build with some of your coworkers that this is a place where you're welcome, and your role there, even if it's just a very short time, you're up there for a bowling tournament with some kids or a family visit or the holiday, something around a national holiday, you're valuable, and spread that word. It's a pleasure being here today with you.
Yeah, it's great having you. It sounds like you're offering up if any nurse is traveling through and they let us know during that legislature, they can come over and hang out with you at the legislature. Is that what it sounds like? Yeah, I could read your lips on that one. You said absolutely right. So, all right. All right. Well, I will adjourn here. you are more than welcome to reach out to me about questions, comments, concerns, and we'll keep in touch here through the next 120-ish days. So we'll see you later.
Thank you all.
Thank you.